Are you spending or investing your imaginal act, your thoughts, your time, then your money, and so on? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day and investing everything that you have in yourself, in your personal growth, and also getting results from it. So I already a little bit mentioned what I'm going to be talking about today. I will be talking about, are you spending or investing your imaginal act, your thoughts, your time, then your money, and so on? And before I begin, I'm gonna read one of my favorite Neville Goddard's quotes, and also be reading you one of the most significant, I would say, Neville Goddard's stories, his personal experience, how he started learning about the law from his teacher, Abdullah. Maybe some of you have heard about this teacher, maybe not. You can search online, there are many stories, but this is one of the first stories of Abdullah teaching Neville the law. It's about him manifesting his trip to his home Barbados. So these are the two things I'll be talking about today. If you're new here, click that subscribe and like button. It will show also then these videos, the algorithm, to other people who are interested in topics like the ones that I'm covering, and it will be the greatest possible thank you that you can give me for what I'm doing. So, Neville said, you must stop spending your time, your thoughts, and your money. For everything in your life must be an investment. See, when you think of something, of a challenge that you have, of unwanted, undesired situation, relationship that you have, in the way that it brings negative, or better say it, bad feelings in your GPS system, then you are spending. Then you are a spender. But you should invest. And you invest in what you want to have. Because if you are putting your thoughts, your imaginal act, your focus, your attention, your energy into the things that you do not want, then you are spending. And there's only so much that you can spend. Without investing, then, you know, it doesn't bring you joy in your life. And there's another quote. Your imagination and your attention are the only tools that you need to create the life that you want. So listen to this. Your imagination and your attention. Are you giving attention to the things that you want? So are you investing your attention, your time, your thoughts? Or are you spending it with worry, with fear, with negative thoughts, and things like that? This is such a key thing to understand. Ask yourself, Am I investor or am I just a spender? And now the story. How Neville manifested going home to Barbados. I'm gonna read from his lecture because in his words it's much more authentic, even though it's my voice. It was 1933. If you remember, there was a frightful depression in our country. Millions were unemployed. They were sleeping in the park in the summer months. They were allowed to sleep there. They would be sleeping all over the place, homeless people. I was a dancer, and if you couldn't eat, you couldn't pay to watch a dance show on a Broadway. So there were no shows playing on Broadway. I think we had 5 Broadway shows at that time instead of the usual 50 to 60 shows. Well, what I'm getting at is I didn't have a job. I had no money, and I was living in a basement on the 75th Street. And he, Abdullah, lived on 72nd Street. He rented the first floor from US Treasury cabinet member. So one day I said to Abdullah in the month of October, it was late October, Abe, you know, I've been gone from Barbados for almost 12 years. I came here in 1922, and it's almost 12 years, and I've never had the desire to go back. But now I have this hungry desire, a haunting desire to go back to Barbados. Not a thing stops me but a lack of money. I have no money. And he said to me, "You are in Barbados." I said, "I am in Barbados?" He said, "Yes, you are now in Barbados. And so you see Barbados and you see America from Barbados, and you can smell the tropical land of Barbados. You see only the little homes of Barbados, and that's all you do. You just simply sleep this night in Barbados." Well, I thought he's insane. Really? I mean, at the moment, it seems so stupid, because here I was on this 72nd Street. We still had 50 and 60-story buildings, and little Barbados with a little 3-story building, almost the tallest that you'd find, and narrow little streets, no sidewalks. And I'm walking on the sidewalk that is wider than the widest street in Barbados. Well, nevertheless, that night I slept in Barbados. I assumed that I am in Barbados, in my mother's home, and that I saw America relative to Barbados. And it wasn't under me that night. It was north of me, about 2,000 miles. Well, the next day, I didn't tell him anything. And about a week later, when nothing happened, I thought I would approach him. This time, we've moved already into November. I said, "You know, Abe," oh, just hold on a second. "You know, Abe, not a thing has happened. He wouldn't discuss it with me. He turned his back on me and went into his little library and slammed the door into my face. So this slam the door, this is the phrase that I love. Even when I discuss with my husband, our imaginal acts when something is, like not working, or even with my clients, I just say, I'm slamming the door. I'm not discussing it anymore. And now, listen this. About 3 times, I tried to open up the discussion with my friend Abe between that moment when I first talked to him and the end. He would never discuss it on the basis, and now listen to the explanation, guys. Really, listen to this. Because the whole point of the law of assumption is you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So now you have what you want. You are what you want. So, how could he discuss with me how I am going to Barbados when I'm already now in Barbados? That's stupid to discuss. How I'm going to go when I am in Barbados now. And if I am faithful to my assumption, I can't discuss the how. I'm already there. Well, this went on for some time. And on the morning of the 4th day of December, so remember, he first approached Abe about this subject, end of October. So it was full month. This was going on. So on the morning of the 4th day of December, there is no job, no place to go, and the last boat that will get me there to Barbados by Christmas is going to sail on the 6th of December, so in 2 days. As I was returning to my basement, under my door, there is a little letter. It was from my brother Victor. His brother Victor was a very, very successful businessman, not just in the Barbados, but in the whole Caribbean island. So, and he said, as a family, we were never around the table at Christmas together. That Cecil, he's my oldest brother, he left home before the last of the children was born. Because we have a large family. There's 8 years between my sister Daphne, who was the 8th child, and then my brother Joe. Well, in that interval, my brother Cecil went off to Demerara. So, never as a family were we ever together at Christmas. So in the letter, he justifies why he's asking me to come home this Christmas. He says, I know you don't have a job, so there is no excuse for you for not coming. And so I'm enclosing a draft for, just a second. I'm enclosing a draft for $50. You might need a shirt, a pair of shoes, socks, or something. And I've notified the Furnace Witty line that you'll come for a ticket. So the ticket is waiting for you at your name at the Furnace line. Well, I was so excited. I rushed down to the Furnace line and I gave them my letter. They said, yes, we have a message here from your family in Barbados. we'll give you the ticket. Listen to this. But we haven't any first tickets left anymore. There's been some kind of misunderstanding. You can go third class and still use all the facilities of the first class, but you will have to sleep third class until we hit the island of St. Thomas, and then some people will leave the ship and you may take a first class bunk. I said, okay, I'll take it. And I rushed right up to Abdullah, running through his door, almost screaming, Abe, Abe, I got my ticket for Barbados. I'm sorry. It's just that I have to go third class. And I'm all elated and happy about it. And he said to me, who told you you are going to Barbados? And who told you you went to Barbados third class? You went to Barbados and you went first class. He would say no more. He would go again to his library and slam the door. He wasn't even happy that I'm going to Barbados now. What a strange thing for a friend to do. So, I went down on the morning of the 6th day of December with my third class ticket. Went up to the desk as they're checking in the passengers, and I put my ticket forward, and they said, well, I've got good news for you, Mr. Goddard. Someone has cancelled and you are going first class. And I went first class all the way down to Barbados, 10 days down, 10 days back, with 3 heavenly months in Barbados. So all that I did, I tried to the best of my ability to visit his almost insolence. He was rude, but he taught me by his rudeness that I cannot discuss how, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So if I'm already now in Barbados, I cannot discuss how. He tells me right away, you are in Barbados. Like someone comes to you now and you would apply this principle toward their request and they say, oh, I would love to be happily married. And then you say to them, you are now happily married. Well, if I'm a lady, how does happily married look like? Well, probably, first of all, you are wearing a ring. So fall asleep in imagination with the feeling that you have a ring on your finger. So he taught me the lesson that there is no such thing as little pregnancy. No such thing. If you did it, then you are pregnant. You just let the child grow. An interference with it is going to be a miscarriage. You assume that you are in Barbados, so now you are pregnant. The idea is that you are going to give birth to a journey which will land you right in Barbados. So you have assumed it. Now you don't argue it. You have conceived. So I really like this story because it's also like a funny story, but it's a true life story. I could just like imagine Neville rushing after Abe and he's slamming the door into his face, you know. But yeah, he taught him this lesson with that his rudeness, because it probably gave him thinking. Okay, so I am in Barbados now. Imagine he was walking in November in New York. It's cold with 50, 60-story high buildings. And his job was to assume, to imagine, to invest in his imaginal act, that he's actually now walking on the streets of Barbados. So he was not spending his imaginal act and his thoughts and his time. He would be spending all of that by thinking how I'm gonna get there. I have no job, I have no money, you know, the ship is leaving in beginning of December. So that would be spending all of that. But you probably want to invest. So, as I always say, ask yourself, what is your desire? What do you want? It is so important, guys, to know what do you want. So many times, even my clients tell me, but I don't know what you want. Because there is a fear behind it. Imagine if I give you, I'm just gonna put my laptop, and I'm sorry, if I give you a magic wand and I tell you, look, here is your magic wand. You just wave with it and you can have anything you want. So what would you really want to have on this particular subject? On a subject of a relationship, on a subject of your career, on a subject of abundance, let's say relative to money. It can be abundance of anything. Okay, what do you want? Leave the fear and all the logic and all the hows and whats and whens behind it. Pretend you are a 3 or 4-year-old child who has no boundaries. Anything is possible from child's point of imagination. And it's the same for you. So first you need to be clear on your desire. What do you want? In terms of pregnancy, or can I be just a little pregnant? So, you know, you want, I don't know, a specific job that seems like so far away from you. Oh, you want to be pregnant. You want that job. Leave all other things out of it. So get very clear on what you want and then invest. Invest your time, your imaginal act, your thoughts, your attention. So Neville said in that quote, your imaginal act and your attention are the only 2 things that you need to have the life that you really want. And you deserve it, guys. Each one of you. There is no single person on the earth that does not deserve what he or she or you really want. Who is to say who deserves something? Nobody. Nobody. We're all here to have a great time. That's why the name of the channel is You're Meant to Be Great. Okay? I really, really hope that you'll get value from this lesson. As I said, one of my favorites, and the phrase slam the door, I love it. I use it many times working with my clients when they come for the 3rd or the 5th time with the same question. I'm just slamming the door. Okay? Share your thoughts, your questions, your comments. Click that subscribe and like button. This way you also tell the YouTube algorithm that the things that I'm doing make sense, and it gets to be shown also to other people who are searching how to improve their life. I wish you a lovely day, and see you in my next video. Bye.